Today at Weekly Reset in Destiny 2, Bungie is finally dropping the weapon that people have been really looking forward to getting. Introducing
the Slammer!
Today's video is going to be broken into 3 chunks, and here are the timestamps. First 2 chunks are a guide on how to get the sword. First, I'll give general loadout recommendations, and then I'll give very specific advice on how to easily beat this week's GM Nightfall, which is going to be the Corrupted. Trust, it might be annoying, but with these tips, you can make it way easier to do, even if you don't run GM Nightfalls that much. And remember, you don't need to do it on GM difficulty anyway. Third chunk of today's video will be much shorter. That'll be God roll discussion, aka what perks you want on the Slammer and why. Alright, part 1, loadout recommendations. Here's a short list of weapons that I recommend for running the Corrupted. Malfeasance, any God roll rocket launcher, Forbearance, Polaris Lance, Le Monarch, Sunshot, Zaouli's Bane, or the Wish Ender. Plenty more will work here. Please don't think these are the only viable options, just what I enjoy for this mission and what I think works well. We're looking for a few things in particular here. Weapons that shred Taken, weapons that do good crowd control work, and weapons that allow you to safely pop off from far away. Rocket launchers aren't extra good on Taken or anything like that, but they go hard here on Overload champions thanks to the Overload rocket launcher perk on the artifact. I found the combination of Lucky Pants Malfeasance and rocket launcher to be kind of the Swiss Army knife of loadouts on this strike. Again, rocket launchers will handle Overload champions, Malfeasance handles Unstoppable, and also does great on the Taken in general. Remember to also turn on From Whence You Came on the artifact. Increased ability damage to Taken, that'll pretty much help the entire strike. If you're new to PvE grinding, gonna hard recommend that your resilience be on 10 and that your chest armor mods are all focused on some kind of defense, with solar and void being the priority. Concussive dampener is also cash money. If you can fit on all 3 with a harmonic mod, great. Also, don't forget to turn on prosperity on your ghost, cause why not? Subclass wise, I think you can go with whatever you want. Nothing will truly make or break you. I might recommend 1 Radiant Warlock to drop well in the final boss fight. That way you're less likely to get killed at the very end, and if she tries to boop you off the map, you can just Icarus dash back and save the run. And before we get to chunk number 2, shout out to Geology. They partnered with me on today's video, so let's thank them real quick. Geology is a 30-time award-winning skin, hair, and body care company recognized in Men's Health, Hypebeast, Esquire, Ask Men, and more. And if you're worried because you're like me and don't know anything about this kind of stuff, don't be. Geology does the work for you. Their hair care and skincare routines are custom tailored for each individual person. It's easy. All you have to do is take a 30-second quiz, and their team of dermatologists will straight up design a personalized routine just for you and ship it directly to your door. They can help you fight acne, reduce general oiliness, or just have healthier, more hydrated skin. Head over to their site, linked below, and use my code Fallout70, and Geology will give you 70% off their award-winning skincare trial set and up to 30% off one of the skin, hair, and body add-on products when you add it to your trial. Take advantage of it while you can, and thank you, Geology. Alright, chunk number 2, tips to make each encounter easier. You can cut down on a lot of time during the opening encounter by doing the following. First, quickly take care of the Overload Scorn champion in front of you on the bridge. Rocket launchers will do great here for big chunk damage, but you do whatever. When you've killed it, immediately take out your Sparrow or Skimmer and go off to the right, completely ignoring the bridge. On the far side, take down Ash Shork, the giant Taken boss. When he's dead, get back on that Skimmer and immediately go through the doors into the temple. You're now officially done with the bridge encounter, and yes, you can still get platinum. Here's how to make the elevator encounter easier. Before activating that encounter, clear out the Taken trash and then pre-charge the relics. Remember, the relic explosion is better if you pass it to another teammate at least 1 time. What I like to do is pre-charge 1 or 2 relics, then leave them on the floor, then launch the encounter. You can see me re-picking up and dropping them to make sure they don't despawn. When we finally activate the encounter, I wipe out the trash with Forbearance, then when the shielded bosses pop in, I throw the pre-charged relics and we burn them down with whatever we got. After that, try to charge 2 more relics before the second wave spawns in, rinse and repeat. Do that correctly and the elevator encounter should be a joke. The next annoying encounter that requires you to play a certain way is up ahead in the room where you keep getting teleported back and forth between light and dark realms. If you do the following, you'll make it easier and you'll still get platinum. When you reach the staircase, do not, I repeat, do not move past the very top of the staircase. Have everyone hold their ground at the top of the staircase and have 1 person move in really slowly, creeping in far enough Not even to the arch, just to get the enemies to spawn into the room. When they do, back up and stay on the staircase. Your goal is to kill the unstoppable champion in the light realm before killing either of the large ogres. Here is your order of operations of who to kill in what order. Unstoppable champion, large taken ogre, then the large regular ogre. If you stayed at the staircase and never ran too far ahead, you're preventing additional enemies from spawning into the dark realm, and if you killed the enemies in the aforementioned order, you'll be permanently in the light realm with no other champions to spawn in. When you've killed all three in that order, you may now leave the staircase and enter the room to kill everything else. Up ahead, more champions, a bunch of unstoppable champions on a big staircase, and 2 overload hobgobbies. There's going to be an additional taken boss roaming around at the bottom of the staircase by the overload hobgoblins. Keep in mind, you don't need to kill that guy if you don't want to. You can run right by it when the champions are dead. Or kill it if you want. Do whatever. I'm not your dad. Up ahead, there's an overload champion who sometimes likes to fall off the map. I think as long as you shoot it at least one time before it falls, you should be fine. We shot ours before it fell off and we still got platinum at the very end. Continue killing Taken from afar and head forward. At the part where you need to de-shield the boss, this can get tricky, but here's how you make it easy. Remember this as a general rule of thumb. Clear ads, de-shield the boss, clear ads again, then damage the boss. You're pretty much going to do that twice, and if you try to keep that order in mind, you'll be fine. Have one person jump forward to activate the encounter, then immediately retreat and have everyone stay on the very back platform while you kill ads from far away. Forbearance will really shine here, likewise for Polaris Lance or any weapon that makes the room go boom. When the ads are dead, have one player go forward to get the relic, then bring it back and throw to a teammate to charge it. Now throw it at the boss to de-shield, but before committing to full-on DPSing the boss, instead try to focus on the ads that have now spawned in. Do what you did before, kill them all, and then when they're all dead, now you can focus on damaging the boss until you can't anymore. When her shield comes back up, you're back at the top of the order. Ads will spawn in again, kill them all again, and then when they're dead, somebody gets the relic, brings it back, you throw it to de-shield the boss, but don't commit to damaging yet. Kill even more ads first, then when it's just you and her, then damage her with no interruptions until she leaves. When you're damaging her that second time, I recommend moving forward just a little bit to the middle platform, as after you get her to about 50% health, she will vanish, and then you have to GTFO through the portal as quickly as you can. Again, follow that order, and that part should not be a problem. For the final part of the Corrupted, make sure you're safely taking out champions and the Taken from far away and waiting to jump from platform to platform to avoid getting whacked by giant flying rocks. My final recommendation is going to be for the final showdown with the boss. Might sound weird, but in my opinion, you're far more likely to mess up and die due to the Taken ads that spawn in rather than due to the boss. Therefore, if I have a super at that point, I'm actually going to try and use it on the Taken ads as opposed to the boss. Is that a waste of damage? Yeah, probably a little bit. But again, the trash can F you up if you're too focused on the boss, and I just like taking them out of the equation 100%. When they're dead, charge the relic and damage the boss until you can't anymore. More Taken will spawn in. Again, prioritize them first. When they're dead, charge and throw the relic one more time, damage the boss, GG, easy. Is that the most optimal way to run that strike? God knows, speed demons out there be wildin', but I stand by this guide as a reliable and consistent way to get the job done if you aren't a super confident PvE grinder. Just take your time, do what I told you per each encounter, and you'll be fine. All right, God roll talk time. This should be pretty short, and I've talked about it before, but here's a quick recap. Slammer is a vortex frame sword capable of rolling basically every fun PvE sword perk in the game. Eager Edge in column 3 if you want to be a fun-loving speed run and tryhard, but also Relentless Strikes, which I think will be my go-to perk in column 3. In column 4, you have Cold Steel, which admittedly is going to be awesome, especially on a stasis build. But I think most people are going to be looking for bait and switch. Yeah, the damage did get nerfed down to 30%, but it's still a phenomenal perk, and Slammer is literally the only sword in the game capable of rolling bait and switch. It can also roll with chain reaction, which IMO is kind of hilarious, but not what I'm looking for. If I had to boil it down to 3 rolls I'd be happy with, either Relentless Strikes and Cold Steel for a fun build where you repeatedly whack and freeze a big target, Relentless Strikes and Bait and Switch, the main god roll I'll be hunting for, that's your big damage on one target type roll, and then finally Eager Edge and Bait and Switch, kind of a combo between being able to damage a big bad pretty hard, but also the fun and gotta go fast contrast factor offered by Eager Edge. Oh, and either Honed Edge or Jagged Edge in column 1 for additional impact. I'm gonna be doing GM Nightfall carries on stream both today and Thursday, so swing by the Twitch channel, hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, peace!